Good evening, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to another edition of Talking Point. My name is Farhaaz Patel. I'll be in your company for the next 45 to 50 minutes. Now, one political party that is making a difference and making quite a huge impact, especially in the more smaller communities of South Africa, is none other than the Patriotic Alliance. We've, of course, seen them take many of the districts within the Karoo, and just recently, one of its members, actually the deputy president, Mr. Kenny Kunene, became the MMC for transport in the city of Johannesburg after the new mayor was elected there, Tapelo Ambad. But joining me is the president of the Patriotic Alliance and the mayor of the Central Karoo district, Mr. Gayton McKenzie. Mr. McKenzie, good evening. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good evening and thanks for having me. It's a great honor and a privilege to be on your show today.
No, it's an absolute pleasure to have you. Mr. McKenzie, right, you're the mayor of the Central Karoo district. A lot of people would say, well, it's on the outskirts of South Africa, what work can be done there? But we need to understand, obviously, the impact and, the work that is done by those communities there. So, just give us a summary of the work that you are doing within the Central Karoo district.
Yeah, no, thank you. I think it's important to understand how did I end up in the Central Karoo district. Basically, I was very frustrated with the pace of how things and when things are happening. It was a snail's pace. It was too slow, including our own members that has been employed. And I said, guys, find me the place that's technically bankrupt, a place that has been neglected, a place with high unemployment, a place that has got nothing to show for the past 30 years. And I ended up in the Central Karoo. I came there, people were still using bucket toilets. The pools were derelict. They were not working. The municipality owed Eskom. They were on the brink of being cut off. There was no money in the bank. And I said, within 100 days, I will change that. Otherwise, I will resign if I don't eradicate the bucket toilets, if I don't fix the swimming pools, if I don't fix the municipality's budget, I would resign. And we, together as a team, we managed to install bucket toilet to eradicate the bucket toilets. We managed to fix all the pools in the area. We managed to fix the balance sheet of the municipality, so much so that we've not even touched for the first time in probably 2 decades the overdraft facility of the municipality. We've been religiously paying Eskom 10 million rands for the past 8 months without fail. And Eskom is hugely impressed with us. No municipality has done what we've done. So yeah, I've got a few months left. Then I'm going to go on the campaign trail.
Yeah, and of course, leading up to 2024, and we will be touching with regards to the national elections that are happening next year. We've seen, obviously, on social media, Mr. McKenzie, the work that you've been doing, and a lot of people have called you a man of action rather than a man of words. And I mean, how important is that? Because we've seen on so many occasions that, mayors of certain municipalities, I mean, it's more a talk, but nothing's being done. And especially in a district like the Karoo, where so many people, and we talk about during apartheid, they've been left deprivated. And even now, when, of course, the dawn of democracy, they've been left deprivated. So how important was it to bring a sense of hope to them? Because if the work's not being done, those communities fall behind.
No, definitely. I think we need to redirect our people back to God. The reason why I'm saying we need to redirect them back is that because if you are a child of God, you'll understand that you can't make God's people suffer. I mean, these people have just become heartless. They don't buy tires, and I'm talking about mayors and MMCs. They don't buy tires because those get provided by the state. That's why some of them don't worry about the potholes. I've seen people driving flashy cars at squatter camps. And you ask yourself, where's your sense of humanity? I've seen people not being load shedded because they got generators paid for by the state. So, for me, we just need to redirect people back to humanity and to say to them that, listen, we got to look after people. I mean, what we have done in the Central Karoo is a blueprint for all mayors. They should get a pamphlet or they should get a white paper on how to run a municipality. I mean, what we've done, nobody thought can be done. We set the bar higher. We found the bar very low, and we just set the bar higher. And that's what we should understand. We have one country. There's not another South Africa. There's only one South Africa. We got to build this country. Let me tell you, we got to build this country. We got to get the right people in place. You get the worst people in some of the posts. That's why our country is going down like this, because we got the wrong people in the right post. We need action people. You know, South Africa is besieged with committees. And let's have a committee on this. Leave the committees. They love meetings. They love. We must have another committee to investigate this committee, and it's this committees, and things are not happening.
Yeah, and I mean, you bring up a very important role there, Mr. McKenzie, because we have too many committees, not enough work that is being done. The question about local municipalities, because if you look at the AG's report, I mean, the balance of scale is there's more municipalities that have a bad audit than the ones that have a good audit. Now, as you know, Mayor of the Central Karoo District, how important is it for you to make sure that you can have the Karoo District having a good audit and a positive outcome when those books are given to the Auditor General?
You see, they don't understand things. They don't understand matters. That's why I don't care about a good or a bad audit. I must start by saying we got a good audit in Central Karoo, because a good audit speaks to investors. Before anybody invests their money in your district, they want to look at what the AG is saying about you, because they don't understand business, they don't understand the importance, they don't care. That's why it doesn't matter to them whether the audit is good, whether the audit is bad. It is crucial to have a good audit, but it doesn't stop there. You can have a clean audit, but dirty water in the street, that means nothing. Then your good audit means nothing. It must go hand in hand. A good audit, people must understand you. You have mayors that can't even read the balance sheet. They can't read, a financial statement. You ask, they believe anything anybody tells them. We need to cut the perks at local municipalities. People travel all the time. I was invited to Salga. I only honored one invitation, and I don't think I'll get another one. Because I went to the South African Local Government Association, and I told them, all the things that you guys spoke about here, we could have done over Teams. You could have Zoomed. Why do we have to waste so much money coming here, staying in hotels, doing all these things? But people love this luxurious lifestyle at the expense of the state. Because, I mean, I'm not saying, like, I know I don't take a salary. I don't take bodyguards from the state. I said the police must go and do their work. I don't take a vehicle from the state. But because my financial situation allows for me to do that. But I'm saying you should also, I'm not saying mayors shouldn't have cars, but mayors doesn't need to have the latest BMW. They don't need to have the latest BMW. And that is what we are saying. They must stop having the latest model cars, the latest model hotels, 5-star hotels. You know, there must be some sense of reading the room. People are suffering. You can't be living the high life as a politician.
Mr. McKenzie, local municipalities, I mean, they play such a key role. I mean, we've seen over the last few weeks citizens taking things into their own hands when basic service delivery is not being achieved. I mean, let's separate local municipalities from national government, because it's clear that national government is failing on a number of matters. So what role do local municipalities need to do in order to make sure that the basic right enshrined in the Constitution is given to the citizens?
I think firstly, government we must all take some sort of responsibility. The first responsibility is government. They give too little money to local municipalities. Too little money. The money is just not enough. You know, the money is not enough. And then they should really change some of the laws that these people, when you take decisions that cost the state as a bureaucrat, as an official, that money should be taken from your pension. You should go to jail for taking some of the decisions. They see this as audit findings, negative audit findings, but it should go further than that. The AG should have some bite in it. And local municipalities, we also must blame the residents, because the residents will have a protest action today, and then tomorrow there's a by-election for them to give them an opportunity to change whoever is there. Then they'll still vote for the very same people that they complained about. They will still vote for the very same people. Now you ask yourself, so why are you burning tires in the street? Why are you doing these things? Now you have a democratic opportunity to change the government, and then they don't. But I just think that we have too many people that don't know what they're doing in local municipalities. And and not only the politicians, some of the biggest thieves you get in local government are the officials, the biggest. Some of them are rich. When you want to promote them, they refuse to be promoted because they want to be there where they can steal.
Yeah, and that's the unfortunate part, the fact that you give the power and unfortunately they go ahead and abuse it. After the break, we continue the conversation with Mr. McKenzie. We'll be talking about the electricity crisis, but how is he managing it in the Central Karoo district, and rehabilitation of prisoners that get out of jail. Do stay tuned. Welcome back to Talking Point. I'm in conversation with Patriotic Alliance President, Mr. Gayton McKenzie. The electricity crisis, of course, is, we don't even need to expand on what is currently happening at this moment. But from a Central Karoo district, I mean, what are you as the mayor doing to make sure that at least there's some sort of consistent energy? And I'm talking with regards to maybe dealing with independent power producers. I mean, what is happening in that region? Make sure that the residents there are getting some sort of consistent energy?
Oh, I think a very good question. Let me first say that our electricity crisis is self-inflicted by our leadership. Because I tell you why I'm saying that. We have no business not having energy. We have no business not having electricity in this country. We are sitting on the 8th largest gas deposit in South Africa. We are getting all our gas from Mozambique. While we're sitting on a bigger gas deposit than Mozambique, we're sitting at around 300 trillion cubic feet of shale gas in our country. That can power up Africa, let alone South Africa. Now, the problem that you are having is that the different proponents of energy, like the renewable guys and the gas guys and the coal guys, they are all having campaigns against each other instead of saying, let's have an energy mix. We are not indebted to anybody for us to use specifically only renewables or only coal, only gas for that matter. But what we are proposing in the Central Karoo, for instance, is that we are going out on all three. We are going out on hydro, we are going out on solar, we're going out on wind, and we are attempting to do gas. But we will be installing 5 megawatt plant before the 10th of March. We'll be going to market for the IPPs. That is to get people totally off grid independent, if I can use that word, because you can't really get off the grid totally. But the problem in South Africa is we can sort this problem out. We just need decisiveness. We need the leadership that says, this is what we're going to do. We can't be listening the whole time to the greenies while we are in darkness. We can't be told what to do in our country. We are sitting with the gas. We are sitting with the sun. We are sitting with the wind. We are sitting with the vast tracts of land. What's the problem? The problem is leadership. Leadership are scared to be decisive. Namibia found gas 10 years after we found gas in South Africa. They are now 10 years ahead of us with the extraction and the using of the gas. But in South Africa, we are still having committees. We are still having meetings. It can't go on like this. So our problem is self-inflicted. Eskom is a corruption city on its own. People are stealing. All mafias are milking Eskom dry. We need decisive leadership even there at Eskom. So as far as Central Karoo is concerned, we will be before the winter comes, that people will have reliable energy.
Mr. McKenzie, I mean, you've brought up what the plans are, obviously, for the Central Karoo, and it seems that you're moving away from dependency from the grid. Obviously, you can't have total dependency. But yourself, we're looking at the city of Cape Town, of course, they're looking at giving back power to the grid. A number of metros are trying to maybe use the same way of getting out from the grid, not totally, but at least having some sort of independence from it. So could you see municipalities and metros following that lead in order to make sure that consistent and reliable energy is given to the residents?
Yeah, you see, you need not only consistent, reliable energy, you need consistent, reliable, and cheap energy. What we are seeing in Cape Town is just a whole lot of PR. Show us. Show us. You know, PR, Cape Town goes out, yeah, we're giving energy back. Where's the media to critically go and see where you're giving energy back? You know, this is all PR, and it's not even because it's a DA-led municipality. But, you know, for me, you can't be going to market and tell the people you're giving energy back. You are leading, but the people in Khayelitsha, the people in Menenberg, the people in Kraaifontein are still sitting in darkness. But you are already there in the lights, shooting out the lights with interviews. I'm saying that is all PR. Show me what I will believe, and I will emulate, and I will learn from them once they model work. You can't be bragging about the unworkable model. So for me, I just say that national government should give directive to all municipalities. It should not be municipalities. It can't be the tail wagging the dog. We are all municipalities. We should get directive from the national government. Now they want to be the ones giving directive. Oh, we're doing this, we're doing that. Man, that's all spin. I'm saying national government should do the following things. They should declare, which they've done now, and I'm the one that advised that first, to say declare a state of emergency or disaster when it comes to energy. And then let us extract the gas. Let us give the IPPs more contracts to build more megawatts. Let us get hydro, and let's do all these things. Let's do all these things so that we can get the ball rolling. But this thing to say, no, the residents, no, man, just take serious decisions. Zambia is now having 24-hour electricity because that country took serious decisions. What's wrong with our leadership? Not the municipality in Zambia, but the Zambian national government. So I'm saying, what's wrong with us doing it? Our leadership, what's wrong with them? We need to remove them in 2024.
It's hard to believe that they're actually part of SADC also and behind with regards to energy. Mr. McKenzie, before we head to the break, I know this is something that is very close to you. You've written a book about it, Rehabilitation of Prisoners. So we've seen many prisoners, of course, when they do come out of jail, what is their role in society, and especially prisoners who want to make a difference in society from a positive point of view. Just the work that you are doing with them, sure that when they do come out, that they have a role in the community from a positive perspective.
Right. I think, I don't care which religion you are from as a person. All religions got one cornerstone, which is love. Love means forgiveness. And I think the only reason why I am where I am today is not only because it's got little to do only with me, but it's got more to do with people that has given me a second chance. Without a second chance, I would still have been another criminal. But because there are people that gave me a second chance in life, that helped me. That's why I'm here. And all they wanted from me was to play it forward, to help other prisoners. And that's why my life is dedicated to changing. I'm not the good prisoner. I'm the prisoner that met good people. I'm the ex-prisoner that met good people. I'm going to repeat that. I'm not the good ex-prisoner. I'm the ex-prisoner that met good people. And I'm saying that if you listen to the teachings of Allah, God, it's clear. Love the people and help people. You can help people through food. You can help people through changing their lives, through becoming better. So I am very passionate about, because if you don't rehabilitate your criminals, what are you saying? You're saying, all right, fine, continue robbing people, raping women, continue assaulting people, stealing from people. But when you rehabilitate them, you make the women safe, you make the prisoners, give them purpose. So for me, it's the biggest thing I'm involved with in my life is to make sure that I help to create other Kenny Kunenes, other Gayton McKenzies.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I think that you hit the nail on the head right there, Mr. McKenzie. Showing love, and of course, love will conquer all eventually. After the break, the conversation then goes to coalition governments. We're seeing a massive, massive impact from the Patriotic Alliance in many wards across South Africa. Do stay tuned. We'll be back after the break. Welcome back to Talking Point. I'm in conversation with Patriotic Alliance President, Mr. Gayton McKenzie. Mr. McKenzie, we've seen your party, of course, make quite an impact across some wards in South Africa. More recently in the city of Johannesburg, easily the largest metro in the country. I want to talk about one specifically, Beaufort West, Ashley Salts. I mean, he's now the mayor here. You told me off air that he's just begun his role as the mayor of Beaufort West. That's a massive one, isn't it? Given that Beaufort West has had so many challenges during apartheid and post that.
Yeah, they say that you reserve the hardest work for your strongest soldiers. Ashley is a force. He's the future. And he has been a shining star. And he's going to be our premier candidate for the Western Cape. And we're taking Ashley and we say, Ashley, go and help us fix Beaufort West. And he said it himself because the foundation has been laid for him. So Ashley is now the mayor of Beaufort West. We are sending out, we look at the potholes in Johannesburg and we said, Mr. Kunene, go and fix these potholes and the traffic lights in the city of Joburg because it seems nobody seems to be able to fix it, but we know he's going to fix the traffic lights, the robots, and just the roads and infrastructure of the city. So what we do is we always send the strongest out to go and keep the name of the Patriotic Alliance high. South Africans must get used to the fact that we are now in coalition era. No party will ever win outright. Don't listen to their arrogance. It's just arrogance and boasting speaking. 2024 South Africa will be led by a coalition government, which is good for the country. It's always good to have many eyes on the money instead of one pair of eyes belonging to one party. So we are going to see coalition governments in local government, in provincial government, and in national government. And we are the kings of coalition in this country.
Yeah, I want to touch on coalitions in a bit, Mr. McKenzie, but I want to talk about Mr. Kenny Kunene, of course, part of the mayoral committee. We see Tapelo Ahmed coming in as the city of Johannesburg mayor. I mean, he's got a tough job, doesn't he, Mr. Kunene, in fixing the roads in Johannesburg, because everywhere you go in the city, there are potholes. So what direction is he taking to make sure that especially that with regards to potholes, becomes a priority in the city of Johannesburg?
I think first I want to congratulate again the Muslim community. For us, we played a huge role in Tapelo Ahmed being chosen.
Yes.
It speaks about our country and the diversity of our country, that we have our first Muslim mayor in the city of Joburg, the biggest municipality in the whole of Africa. It just speaks about tolerance, acceptance, and congratulations to the community. Then, as far as Mr. Kunene is concerned, he's currently sitting with his partners, including the mayor and everyone, to listen to their views, and he's doing some listening. He's on a listening tour. But what I do know is I know the man. I know his work ethic. I know the business side of the man. If there's anybody that can going to fix the potholes, I can tell it's him. I've not sat down with him to hear all his plans because he's a man that is from the collective. He's not a man that does things on his own. So as soon as he's ready to brief me as the leader of the party, I know I've got no doubt that soon we'll be able to drive our cars without dodging potholes.
Well, we hope that can happen because I think the city of Johannesburg truly does need that and deserves it, without a doubt. Mr. McKenzie, let's talk coalition. I mean, you said we potentially are entering a era of coalition governments. We see the city of Ekurhuleni, city of Johannesburg. I mean, those are two metros that are really, been led by coalition governments. And that's the work and the beauty of our democracy. Some, though, some residents, some citizens will be a little bit hesitant because there's a sense of instability with regards to leadership and can there be consistent leadership. As the Patriotic Alliance, what is your view on that? Should there be a sense of fear or should there be a sense of hope with regards to coalition, especially into next year's national elections?
Yeah. Farhaaz, I hear you saying potentially, not potentially. It's going to be.
But I'm just saying it because we don't know, obviously, going into the elections, a lot can happen, of course.
No, that's what I'm trying to say to you, my brother. There's going to be coalitions everywhere. Let me make you an example. In the Western Cape, in 2016, the DA governed 28 municipalities outright. 2021, the DA is now governing only 8 municipalities outright. So these are things the general media don't speak about. In city of Joburg, city of Ekurhuleni, the ANC, I think there's only 3 or so metros that they are not governing in a coalition. That is, we have entered already the era of coalitions. We are not going into coalitions. We are already in the era of coalitions. You see, the problem with coalitions is that there's no big party as part of a coalition. Big parties, big political parties don't need coalition partners. And that's a fact of life. But the problem was the parties in the coalition sees themselves as bigger than other parties, and that's where the problem comes. If you are a big party, as they always tell us, what do you want in a coalition? A big party does not need coalition partners because you are big to stand on. So if you need coalition partners, you need to soon realize that you're not that big. There are good coalitions. I mean, like you look at Central Karoo, where I am, unfortunately, TWK, Neisner. We are 4 parties in that coalition. You've never heard there's an argument amongst them. The problem is the DA. Wherever the DA is, there's a problem in the coalition. The DA is the drunkard of the coalition family because they want to subscribe. That imperialism mentality has not left them. That mentality of Baskap and that mentality of supremacy has not left them. Because why can you come into coalition and tell a party like the Patriotic Alliance, which is your biggest rival? We've beaten them in Kensington. They even ran away from Kensington. We're going to beat them in Wuppertal today in the by-election. Why would you come in and want to subscribe how we should behave? Instruct how we should behave. You can't do that with us. You can't govern us. We are your opposition. Now you come together in a coalition, you want to tell us you will do this. No, coalitions doesn't work like that. The best coalitions are the ones where you consult. There's Mr. Kunene. He has his own plans. But he can't just come there. He must go and consult with Al Jama. He must go and consult with the ANC, with our other coalition partners, the EFF, all the other coalition partners there. They got to consult. He can't just come and do his own thing there. Now the DA will come in and do their own thing. And for the residents that are a bit fearful about coalitions, I'll make you one example. Massive corruption happened in Tshwane. Massive.
Yes.
Mainly with this thing of the IPPs, the unsolicited bid. But that was exposed by the coalition partners. Action SA exposed that. That's why you see the mayor resigned. You know what's coming. But it was the coalition partners that said, no. Freedom Front Plus said, no. Action SA said, no. Now, that is the beauty of coalitions. There's many people at the cash register. If the DA was alone at the cash register, that corrupt deal would have gone through. But because the DA was not alone there, the partners said, no. That's the beauty of corruption. And the ANC They were all along alone. That's why we are in this trouble. So I am for coalitions, and 2024 is going to be interesting.
Yeah, well, definitely is going to be interesting. Well, we just hope that the coalitions will be able to serve the citizens of South Africa, and that's what everybody wants at this very moment. After the break, we wrap up the conversation with Mr. McKenzie. We'll be talking about the State of the Nation address that happened last week. Some didn't enjoy it, some enjoyed it. We're going to get the view of Mr. McKenzie after the break. Do stay tuned. Welcome back to Talking Point. We're wrapping up our conversation with Mr. Gayton McKenzie, the Patriotic Alliance president last week, and you saw it live here on Hilaal TV, the State of the Nation address by President Cyril Ramaphosa. Mr. McKenzie, were you a thumbs up or a thumbs down for last week's SONA?
Yeah, I was for me, what I've been trying to bring to South African politics is to put time frames to your promises. Now, when the president spoke, there was no time frames. The only way for us to change this country is when politicians do what I'm doing. Put time frames to your promises. I said within 100 days, I shall resign if I don't eradicate the bucket toilets. I said within 100 days, if we don't fix the swimming pools. So yeah, the president he speaks eloquently. He speaks very good English. But the problem is that people talk good English, but they don't do good on that promises they made in English. So I'm saying is, for as long as there's no time frames to it, you can't tell me the same lie over and over and over again. So I think that the president will impress some, that there's the faith in what he said. I don't. So I wasn't impressed. It was a thumbs down for me. What was needed there was time frames. So that we can, how do we know? He can say, I'm going to build. He spoke about gas. He spoke about more generation capacity that is going to build, more generation capacity. He spoke about gas. But he can say they can do those things in 2056. How does that help us? So I wasn't impressed.
And Minister, I mean, this was a new one that came out, obviously, from the State of the Nation address. But I don't understand, because you've got the Minister, the Department of Public Enterprises, you've got Mineral Resources and Energy. Was there really a need to have a Minister of Electricity, and what purpose does that serve?
I think, for me, that at first I thought it was a joke. At first I thought he's making a joke. I was expecting people to laugh, and then they clap. The truth of the matter is that if you listen to all the ministers, and I say this begrudgingly, but if you listen to all the ministers, what Minister Gayton McKenzie is proposing, that is feasible. What he's saying is feasible, but there's a cabal in this country, I call them a cabal, of very wealthy white people that's so used to deciding policy and direction of Africa. They've now decided that Gayton can't have so much power. Gayton can't have so much power. That's what they've decided. You saw how they went for him in the Sunday Times, how they went for him in all the newspapers. And I just think that the president has betrayed Gayton. If Gayton can't see it, we can see it. He's betrayed him by not giving him the energy department. That for me is just I was shocked. He's trying to appease both sides. He's trying to appease Gayton, and he's trying to appease this white supremacist capitalist. That's what he's trying to do. I'm saying, if you listen to everyone, it's plain. Gayton at least there's a plan if you listen to him. So I think I'm not a great, personally, we're not on very good terms, but Gayton is your guy in the budget that they have there now. And this Minister of Electricity, it's just more cars, more houses, more pension, more stuff. You already have the Department of Minerals and Energy. Why do you need this? Like somebody said, you have the Minister of Finance, and then you create the Minister of Money.
I know.
You create a Minister of Money.
Already an overbloated cabinet that South Africa already has. Mr. McKenzie, we spoke earlier on about coalition government. When I look at, there was a video I saw of a lady, an old mama who, an ANC official came with a food parcel, which has been something that The ANC has used during the election campaigns, and successfully they've won using those methods. But what's surprising about that is when they went to her, she said, "I don't want that." The narrative is changing, isn't it, Mr. McKenzie? That, of course, through social media, you can see that even the traditional areas in South Africa, which the ANC would win, the citizens are starting to lose faith within the ruling party. Is there a sign that come next year, there is going to be a massive change within the political sphere of South Africa?
I think there's this wrong perception that it's only the ANC that gives food parcels. That's a lie. It's a lie being spread by opposition parties like ourselves. We are all giving food parcels. Let nobody lie to you. So the DA even put a sticker on some of the food parcels. I've given food parcels. I know every political party in this country. So it's not only an ANC, we learned it from the ANC, but then we saw it working. So there's places we also give food parcels, and we must always be honest. But what you're going to have is not only the ANC, the DA and the ANC are losing power. They are losing power rapidly because people are tired of food parcels. People are tired of promises. The food parcel doesn't last 5 years. I can tell you, I have been seen places where the DA give people wine in the Western Cape. So we mustn't only think it's the ANC. The ANC does it, but the ANC is not even going to see 40% in the next election. Their party die. The DA is going to die with their partner, the ANC. There's new parties that will come up, and I mean, we are a rising party. We're the fastest growing political party, and your viewers must make peace with the fact that I will be the next president of this country, because will be the kingmaker, and we will decide who becomes president, and we might choose ourselves.
Yeah, I think that's the beauty of South Africa's democracy. One final question, Mr. McKenzie. Come 2024, what are the goals of the Patriotic Alliance entering the era of coalitions, and knowing that next year is going to be a huge difference in terms of the political sphere? But what are your short-term and long-term goals with regards to national government as the Patriotic Alliance?
I think firstly, we're going to, for now, between now and next year, we're going to participate in most by-elections to popularize the party more. Our plan is to get 10% of the vote. And if you have 10%, nobody gets 50%. So both sides, the Rainbow Coalition and the coalition of the ANC, the EFF, Al Jamaah, those parties that's more to the left, and more right-wing parties like the Action SA and the Freedom Front Plus and the DA, both of them will need our 10%. And we will go with the party. We don't care. We have no favorite between the DA and the ANC. I always tell them, I said, we see the other one as a tiger, we see the other one as a lion. There's no difference for us, really. So we will go with whoever gives us the power. And people say, no, PA just want power. I find that hilarious because when you go to the mosque, you go for prayers. When you go to the soccer field, you go to play power. You go to play sports. At the rugby field, you're going to go play rugby. In politics, you are there for power. Politics is about power. So when they say we just want power, it's like accusing somebody of wanting to pray in the making dua in the mosque. What are you? That's what the mosque is there for. But you can't blame a person for making dua in the mosque. You can't blame a person for playing soccer. We are in the coalition, in politics for power, and we are unashamed about that. And I can tell you the 5 things we are going to do when we take over as the Patriotic Alliance, and when I take over as the leader of this country. Number 1, I'm going to bring God back into our schools. I'm going to bring God back in the Constitution. God has been written out of the Constitution. I'm going to make God, the Christian faith, the Muslim faith, Judaism is going to be part of people will be able to pray freely in the schools, in the madrasas, in the workplace. God has systematically been taken out of our everyday life in South Africa. And that's a fact. You go to Qatar. I went on holiday in Qatar recently. And my children couldn't believe it, how the people pray to Allah 5 times a day. And I said to them, that's why this country is so prosperous. And we will bring that prosperity back to our country. That's number one. Number two, we will deport all illegal immigrants with immediate effect. There will be mass deportation. Number three, we shall bring back the death penalty. You kill somebody, we kill you. Number four, we will make sure that national service, everybody over the age of 18 goes and do national service. We will make sure that, number five, that we bring, we stop the exploitation of our minerals, that they live in unreformed, in unrefined form. South Africa, we're not going to allow that. It should be happen here where the diamonds and the gold and everything. Things should not just leave this country willy-nilly. And we shall make sure that we scrap this thing of Indian, white, black, colored people. We want to be one nation under God. We need to move on. We can't forever make people pay for the sins of their grandfathers and hold it against them. We need to hold hands as God's children and move this country forward. In my government, nobody will be asked what nationality or what race are you. You must be South African, sorry, but not what race are you. You are South African. And that's the only way to build the country. We're going to get this country to work again. We're going to have decisive leadership, not leadership that doesn't know what they're doing. We're going to be decisive about our actions. Thank you very much.
No, Mr. McKenzie, thank you. I wish we had more time. There was so much to discuss, but unfortunately, time is against us. Mr. McKenzie, we say thank you so much for making the time for us, and all the best with regards to you and your party heading into the 2024 elections.
Thank you very much. It was an absolute pleasure.
No, the pleasure is ours. Patriotic Alliance President, Mr. Gayton McKenzie, just discussing, of course, a wide range of issues from the work he's doing in the Central Karoo to, of course, his plans for the 2024 elections. Well, that's all we have for here on Talking Point on Hilaal TV channel 347. My name is Farhaaz Patel. Thank you for joining us and accepting us onto your screens. We'll see you again next week, same time, same place. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.